Hey, what's happening? This is Pastor West, and welcome to another Rally Point. And, I'm so thankful and so appreciative of your taking the time just to come in and check this out. And I hope that I'm encouraging you. I'm hoping that that God is speaking to you and doing something in your life. But my question for you tonight is, have you ever done something and felt like this is good enough? Have you ever been in church or felt like God's led you somewhere and you've gotten to a point in the process where you said, God, this is good enough? Well, when I was looking in the Bible, and I was looking in Joshua 13, if you look at verses 1 through 7, God is speaking to Joshua at the end of his life. And he's saying that there's a lot of land in the promised land that has not yet been taken over. And as I was reading that, I was wondering if Joshua, because he was older, maybe he was tired, maybe he said this is good enough. And we've done enough. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like, hey, this is good enough? I've done enough? Well, the problem with that was that the Israelites never completely conquered the promised land. And when they never completely conquered the promised land, all the people that were still there, that God told them to go in and wipe out, the very thing that they were told to wipe out became their thorn. The very thing that they were told to take away became the thing that God used to test them. See, when we don't accomplish our God-given goals, our God-given decrees, our God-given plan, when we say good is good enough and we stop working, then God uses the very thing that we were supposed to conquer, the very thing that we were supposed to eliminate, and he uses it to test us. It becomes our thorn. It becomes the thing that we struggle with. Have you ever said that good is good enough? Now, I don't doubt for 1 second that Israel didn't love God in that time. They loved him. They just stopped working. They just thought that they had did enough. I'm not questioning whether you love God or not. But have you stopped working? Have you said that this is good enough? See, it's not good enough. Good is not good enough for God. Right? We don't never stop pursuing our goals, never stop pursuing our God-given plan until God says it's done. It's not done until God says it's done. It's not good enough. We have to be willing to complete the fight. You see, when Israel didn't do that, they were in direct disobedience to God, because God told them to go in and conquer the land, the entire land, not just a portion. It's just like someone that runs a marathon 3/4 of the way through the marathon saying, hey, I've ran enough and I win. No, you don't win till you cross the finish line. You don't win till it's done. Well, because Israel didn't complete the conquest of the whole promised land, they were disobedient and they left idols in the land. See, they were told to go in and destroy all the idols in the high places in the land. And because of that, they left those high places and those idols in the land. And there was later, those very same idols were the idols that they started to worship, which drew them away from God. You see, when we don't accomplish our God-given goals, we leave these idols, these things that we're supposed to have destroyed in our lives, those attitudes, those habits, those situations, those ways that you do things, the old man in you that you were supposed to destroy, that you were supposed to conquer, that you left because you didn't complete the mission that God gave you. That very same thing is the thing that can come back later and draw you away from God. We see that with the Israelites. We see that later on, those same idols and gods and high places that they should have destroyed, they never did. You know what? God also told them, when you go into the promised land, don't sign any treaties with anyone. Don't sign any covenants. Don't make a covenant with anyone. But see, by them not conquering the whole promised land, they left those enemies there. And those enemies were strong warrior type tribes that they couldn't overcome, because they disbanded the whole army and they left it up to the individual tribes to conquer their part of their inheritance. And when they couldn't do that, they made a treaty with the enemy. They made a treaty with the very thing they were supposed to conquer, the very thing they were supposed to defeat. They made a treaty with it. How often do you make a treaty with the very thing that you're supposed to conquer, that you're supposed to overcome, that you're supposed to defeat, but because it was too hard, because it was too much of a struggle, because it seemed like it was too big of a hill to climb, you made a deal with it. You compromised. How many times have you done that? See, we have to be like King Hezekiah. And King Hezekiah, when they sent him the letter and he had this overwhelming force right at his front door, he went into the temple and he showed God the letter. He said, look what they're saying about you. Look what they're saying about your people. And what are you going to do about it? Because God said that the battle is not yours, but it's His. But when we try to fight the battle, we realize we can't overcome it. So instead, we make a treaty with it. We make a treaty with our addictions. We make a treaty with our struggles. And because of it, they remain struggles. They continue to be struggles when we should have conquered them. Good isn't good enough. Good is not good enough. So the next time that you're in a situation where you get a thought or a feeling that says, hey, this is good enough, say no, good's not good enough. I have to continue to fight forward. I have to continue to push forward until I complete the goal, until I complete the mission that God has set out for me. Hey, I hope you've been blessed. My name again is Pastor Wes Pennington, and I'm thankful that you've been to the Rally Point, that you came in and checked us out at the Rally Point, and I hope that you're getting fed. And hey, continue to support, continue to be a part, continue to let God grow and develop you into the man that you're called to be, because we all have a call, we all have a purpose, and I'm believing that God's calling you and He's digging into you and He's transforming you to make you into the man that He's called you to be. Check out our Rally Point website at rallypointmensministries.org. Check out our Rally Point podcast, Rally Point Men's Ministry podcast. All right, and check us out on Facebook all the time, right? And check us out on YouTube as well, right? Wes's men's stuff. God bless you, and I hope to see you and talk to you soon. We'll see you at the next Rally Point. God bless you.